Welcome back, guys, to our physics video series on motion. This is our lecture 2, and the topic of this lecture is measurement of length and motion. In the previous video, we have discussed about measurements and we have discussed what do you mean by distances. In the last video, I have given you some questions to convert. The first one was you have to convert 23 meters into centimeters. So the answer of this question is you just have to multiply this 23 with 100 because in 1 meter there is 100 centimeters. So the answer will be 2300 centimeter. The second one was you have to convert 155 centimeter into meter. We know that in 1 meter there is 100 centimeters. So if we write 1 meter, how much centimeters will be there? We can say 1 centimeters. How much meters will be there? There will be 1 upon 100 meters. So we have given 155 centimeters. So here it will be 1 by 100 into 155. So it will be about 155 upon 100, or in the points in the decimal form you can write 1.55 meters. So 1.55 meter is the answer of the second question. And the last one is you have to convert 250 kilometers into meters. So we know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. So similarly, we can convert 250 kilometers into meter just by multiplying it with 1000. So it will be 250,000 meters. So these are the solutions of the questions that I have given you in the last class, in the last video. So starting our new video. So basically in this video we will learn about how to do the measurement correctly or how we can measure the length. So to measure the length we use various devices such as meter scale or a 15 centimeter scale or a measuring tape. So meter scale, basically what is a meter scale? It is a type of scale in which the length of the scale is about 1 meter. So it is actually a long scale. It is about 100 centimeters long. And a 15 centimeter scale is the one that you use daily for your stationary purpose. It is a scale made of plastic and it is a small size 15 centimeter scale. Similarly, a measuring tape. It is again a long tape which you can use to measure large distances. Similarly, how to measure distance correctly using scale. If you are using a meter scale or if you are using a 15 centimeter scale, how you can use that scale to measure the distance correctly. There are various some problems which are faced while taking the measurements. So we will learn about the correct method. So the correct method is the first one, the correct placement of meter scale. So suppose that if you have to measure the length of this block, actually the length is this, then you have to keep your scale in according to the length. You have to keep your scale parallel to the length of this block. If you are keeping your scale in this way, then your measurement will be wrong. So the A part, this is the correct position of the scale and this is the wrong position. So the thing that you are measuring, your scale should be in the same alignment with that length. Or if you are measuring the breadth, your scale should be parallel with the breadth. The second point is again very important point, the placement of your eyes. Suppose that you are measuring the length of this block, then your eyes must be on the top of this measuring point. If you are starting with this point or if you are ending on this point, so for taking the reading of this point, your eyes should be on the top. If you are taking the measurement from some angle like this and like this, the measurements will be wrong. So these two are the most important points that you have to keep it in your mind while measuring any length. The first one was that you have to keep the scale parallel with the length or with the breadth, whatever you are measuring. And the second one is the placement of your eyes. Your eyes should be on the top of that point of whose reading you are taking, right? If you are taking it with some angles, there would be chances of incorrect reading. Let us see some things which are moving around us. So you can write in the chat box the name of some things which are moving around you. So right, some of you are writing that fan is moving around us. Very nice. Second, what else are moving things around you? Yeah, right, ants. Some of you are saying ants. You can write the answer in the chat box. The third one is, yeah, right. Some of you are saying the mosquitoes are also moving. Right. And fourth, what else? You can say some children are moving in your house. All right. Great. So some children are also moving. So some of you are saying that the fan is moving. Some of you are saying that ants they are moving, and for some mosquitoes are also moving, and children are also moving. Can you see the way in which they are moving? The fan. Can you see the way in which the fan is moving? Can you see the way in which the ant is moving? Similarly, can you notice the movement of the mosquitoes and the children's? So when you notice this, the thing that comes into your mind is motion, is about their motion, how they are moving. So basically, what is motion? The object which changes its position with time with reference to any object is said to be in motion. So if there is any object which is changing its position constantly with time, suppose that it was kept in front of you, but after 5 minutes it has gone away from your eyes. So you can say that that thing is in motion because it is changing its position with time, right? So we will learn about different type of motions. This is the basic about the motion. This is the correct definition of the motion. You can write this definition in your notebook. So there are different type of motions. The first one is the linear motion. What do you mean by linear motion? Basically, you can say that a straight line motion is also known as linear motion. This is a straight line motion. So you can say if a body, let's say this is a body and it is moving in a straight line, then this is an example of a linear motion. So in linear motion, a body travels in a straight line. Can you give some examples of linear motion? Yeah, right. You have to write the examples in the chat box. So we can say that a car moving on a straight road, or a car moving on a straight path or road, straight road. Right. So this is an example of a linear motion. Similarly, you can write other examples also. So let us see which is the next type of motions that we have. So it is a circulatory motion, or you can say circular motion. So what do you mean by circular motion? When a object, suppose that this is object and this is a fixed point. This is a fixed point, and this object is moving around this fixed point in a circular path, right? So this type of motion is known as circular motion. You can say the giant wheel in the fairs is an example of circular motion. So what are the examples? Examples, the best example you can say is, suppose that this is earth and in the center this is the sun. So revolution is the best example. Revolution of earth, revolution of earth around sun, or you can say the revolution of moon around sun or around earth. So these are the example of circular motions in which there is a fixed point in the center and the thing is moving around that fixed point in a circular path. Let us see next type of motion. So here we have periodic motion. This is the most important type of motion. So you can write the most important or very important. So what is periodic motion? You can say a motion which repeat itself after a fixed period of time, which repeat itself after a fixed period of time, a fixed period of time. So we will learn about this by taking a simple example. Have you seen a pendulum? Pendulum is a simple device in which there is a bob. You can say this is a bob and this is the thread which is suspended by a support. This is the support. So when you disturb this bob, suppose that you have given some force to this bob will start moving. And first of all, it will go in this direction, then it will go in the other side, right? So if you see this type of motion, you will notice that this bob is continuously moving from, we can say this position is A, this position is B, this position is C. So this is continuously moving from position A to B or from B to C, then again it is moving from C to B, again from B to A. And if you notice the time will be same, almost same. So this is a type of periodic motion. So you can say, you can write in the examples a pendulum. This is a pendulum. A pendulum, or the other example is the clock. Clock also. It shows periodic motion, similarly the motion of earth or the motion of earth, it is also example of periodic motion because earth take 24 hours to complete one rotation, and for one revolution it takes about 1 year or 364 days, right? So the time duration after which it repeat its motion is same. So such type of motions in which the object repeat its motion after a fixed period of time, they are known as periodic motion. The next is curvilinear motion. So we will learn about this by taking a simple example. So the example is, suppose that this is a road and a car is moving on this road and this is a turn, right? So this type of examples, they comes under curvilinear motion in which object it moves in curves. Have you seen roller coasters? Suppose that this is the way of a roller coaster, right? Suppose that this is a way of a roller coaster. So it starts from somewhere here, then it goes all around these curves and it stops here. So this is the final position and this is the starting position. So you can see the roller coaster is going from different type of curves. So you can say the motion of a roller coaster is an example of curvilinear motion. So we can write roller coaster, right? So we have other type of motions also. One is your oscillatory motion, next one is random motion, and the next one is rotational motion. What is oscillatory motion? Oscillatory motion is a motion in which a thing vibrates. You can say vibrates, or it moves to and fro about a mean position. It moves to and fro. The example that we have seen in the periodic motion, that of a pendulum, it also comes under oscillatory. Have you seen a guitar? Have you played a guitar? If you ever seen a guitar, you will just try to notice the motion of the wires of the guitar when it is plugged. You will see that the wires will vibrate. And this type of motion is again same oscillatory motion. Random motion. When we were talking about the motion of mosquitoes in the house, or the motion of children's or ants, right? Ants, children's, mosquitoes. They were moving randomly in all the different directions there was not there was not a symmetry in the motion. They are not moving in a particular direction. They were moving in all the directions. So such type of motions are known as random motion. Similarly, rotational motion, the word itself says rotational motion. When object rotate on its own axis. For example, the best example is the earth. This is our earth and this is our axis, and this is taking round about its axis. So this is an example of rotational motion. So there is a question for you all. What type of motion is shown by a ball rolling on the ground? So there is a ball, someone is playing cricket and he has uh, made a shot and the ball is rolling down the ground. So what type of motion is shown by the ball? You have to write the answer in the chat box. So I am giving you 1 minute to answer the question, or you can pause the video to answer the question. So let us see what is the answer. So you will surprised to know that the answer is there are two type of motions which are shown by this ball, right? So the first one is the linear motion and the second one is the rotational motion. When the ball is rolling on the ground, this is the ground, let's say, and this is the ball. If it is rolling in this direction, this is showing linear motion, right? Because it is moving in a straight line. But if we look at the ball is again spinning, right? It is also spinning. So this type of motion is rotational motion. So from here we can conclude that it is not only that an object shows only one type of motion. An object can show more than one type of motion. Like in this example of a ball which is rolling on the ground. It is showing two type of motions at the same time. The one is the linear motion and the second one is the rotational motion. Similarly, if we take the example of earth, the earth, so what type of two motions you will see in the example of earth? The first one is your curvilinear motion, or the second one is your periodic motion, and you can say rotational motion also. So there may be objects which shows more than one type of motion at a time, right? So here is a list of examples of all the type of motions. So the first one is a car moving on a straight road. Can you answer which type of motion is this? Yes, right, very good. This is a linear motion. This is an example of a linear motion. The next one is movement of a pendulum, right? So write the answer in the chat box. Yes, some of you are saying that it is a periodic motion and some of you are saying that it is a oscillatory motion. So both are correct. It can be periodic and oscillatory also. So both are correct. If you are saying it is periodic, then it is also correct, and if you are saying it is oscillatory, then also it is correct. A ball moving towards the boundary line. So again, this was the answer that we have discussed in the last slide. It will show two type of motions. Hands of a clock. So what type of motion is this? Hands of a clock. So again, this is a periodic motion. If you are saying this is a periodic, you are correct, because it will take same time to repeat its motion, right? A roller coaster is an example of curvilinear motion. It is an example of curvilinear motion. Heartbeat. This is very important. Heartbeat. Which type of motion is this? Yeah, right. This is a periodic motion because it repeats, right? Blades of a fan. Which type of motion is it? It is circular motion, right? Because they rotate in a circular path. They move in a circular path. So, all right, I hope the topic is clear to you all. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I hope you know about all the different type of motions. Thank you for watching this video and have a nice day. And don't forget to subscribe our channel, like and share also. Thank you.